So tonight we're going to be speaking with In the Matrix and Shady Groove because they are two prominent personalities in the Q movement. We know they've got active Twitter profiles, they've got a regular program on YouTube, as well as a website bringing together many months, if not years, of information, as well as information from other high-profile people across the alternative media landscape. Well, tonight I've asked them here to discuss the fact that they've agreed to speak at the Ramtha School for the Enlightenment, the compound out in Yelm, Washington. Now, just in case you don't know, the Ramtha School is run by the guru, that would be JZ Knight, and she claims to channel a 35,000-year-old Lemurian named Ramtha.
So JZ Knight, she's from Seattle, Washington, and she was an actress. There's a little background for you. So all of a sudden, she started getting these visions from Ramtha, who was this 35,000-year-old warrior.
Okay, yeah.
Who spoke English with an Indian accent.
Yes, that's right.
Where that was 35,000 years ago is not clear. But then a German woman started channeling Ramtha. And JZ Knight said, oh, no, I own Ramtha. It's like...
Copyright.
Yeah, copyright.
Yeah.
Which, you know, if she won that case, I forget how it turned out now. I think she lost the case. But if she won the case, it would imply, well, you just made it up then.
The group itself has a well-documented history, freely available in news media accounts of litigious action, the New Age teachings, seemingly outrageous claims of spontaneous healing and manifestation of wealth through lottery winnings. JZ Knight herself has courted controversy through her public statements and has been accused of racism and hate-mongering due to those statements, not by me, but by other people in the media.
What is Ramtha doing to families like yours?
Tearing them apart. I don't know what she did to my husband, but he's not the same he was. You know, he's just not the same person he was a few months ago.
Those folks, you know, they point the finger at you. They blame you. They think you're bad news, that you've lured their loved ones away.
You know, but you know, what would you expect them to say? I'm so thankful she took my wife away, and it's all her fault. It could never be mine. You know, people don't want to take responsibility that if that person left, could it be because they weren't happy anymore?
To grasp what Knight says, it helps to look at what some of her followers think of as their Bible, the Ramtha White Book. It outlines a philosophy where reality is whatever you want it to be, where there's no right, no wrong, even murder is not wrong or evil. But JZ says it helps to believe in reincarnation.
If you only believe that you only are going to, you're born and you die, and there's no afterlife, murder is definitely wrong. If you believe in a continuation of life, that's a different story. In a divinity, if we're immortal and we're going to live again, then how could murder be a wrong?
The person who commits a murder, for instance, doesn't need to be punished by being put into prison. He's going to be punished because he's going to hate himself for eons of years, and he's going to live with that guilt and that remorse, and it will set his process of evolvement back for ages and ages.
McNaughton says Ramtha told her that in a previous life she was one of his children. JZ says Ramtha told her that she too was one of his daughters. But we decided to look at JZ's more recent past here in the oil town of Artesia, New Mexico, where she grew up as Judy Hampton. She was popular, voted prettiest girl by the other members of her high school class. One of her closest friends in school was Sandy Fallis. Sandy told us of a bizarre incident at a prayer meeting when Judy suddenly began speaking in a strange male voice, identifying herself as a demon named Demias.
She couldn't breathe. She was holding her neck, and she was saying, "I can't breathe." At that point, this male's voice spoke out again. He said, "I possess this body and cannot have it. I have possessed it for many years."
Well, I have never, ever had anything like that happen. That's somebody else's truth. That's not my truth.
Didn't happen.
No, it didn't happen.
But if it did, it would seem to support a theory that Knight has and may have had another personality that comes out that she can't entirely control.
Some very powerful and deep force, even an alternate personality, is taking over the unconscious of the channeler.
So what is Ramtha? Merely a figment of JZ Knight's imagination or a genuine phenomenon? Well, if you listen to some of those who were there at the beginning in the late 70s, maybe it's a little bit of both. They include some of Knight's old friends, even her ex-husband. They'll tell you that in the beginning, Ramtha was real, something positive, something good. But those old friends say as the Ram grew more popular, JZ grew jealous, and somehow she began pushing the real spirit aside and started acting the part of Ramtha.
When I would look at JZ, she was like hungry. She was hungry for these things that money could buy.
Stephen Bacher says greed is the motivation behind Ramtha. He was once Knight's advance man, traveled with her, arranged all her appearances. In Seattle, where he now lives, Bacher told us about a series of incidents that made him lose faith. He recalled a gathering in California in 1984 when JZ started slipping into and out of her Ramtha identity without bothering with a trance. There was a desert hike.
She was smoking at the time and would put down her cigarette, and she'd walk to the edge of the big boulder, and she would stand there and go like this and imitate Ramtha and holler down to the people to hurry up, and then she would come down and talk some more to us and smoke some more, and then she'd go up and do it again, urging them on. And that's when I really just died inside, because it was blatant.
But perhaps more blatant was Ramtha's involvement with JZ's horses. Her stable, Messiah Arabians, boasts such valuable animals as this mare, which Knight says is worth $1 million.
Thank you for being so gorgeous.
Apparently, Ramtha likes horses too. Cheryl McNaughton told us that Ramtha advised her to buy this stallion from JZ Knight. She paid JZ $250,000. Knight, as Ramtha, advised many others to invest in some of her own high-priced horses. This offering of one of Knight's Messiah Arabians describes it as an investment personally designed by Ramtha.
Of course, if God says to you, do this, what are you going to say? No, or oh, I'll think about it. I mean, you just don't turn your back on that. And so I would just be besieged with people like shoving money at me so that they could, get in on this.
Many of the investments sour, prompting complaints. An investigation by the state of Washington brought a cease and desist order, which Knight voluntarily agreed to, and she's been paying back the unhappy investors. In retrospect, are you sorry that you used the name of Ramtha in offerings like that one?
No, I'm not, because I think if a person is ever sorry about what they ever did, then they never learn and they never progress and go forward. People are entitled to say that I'm a fake, I'm a fraud, I'm the devil, I'm the Antichrist. I'm everything but doing something good for somebody. And it's okay if they say that, because, the thing that I've learned is that everyone is entitled to their own truth.
Truth, reality, in the world of Ramtha, they are whatever you want them to be. So go ahead and call this a cosmic con game if you want to. JZ Knight is going to keep right on enjoying her little slice of heaven, as long as the spirit moves her.
To that which is termed life. Forever, and ever, and ever. So be it.
Now, in recent months, she has sought to attach Ramtha and her celebrity to the Q movement, appearing at events with her followers, wearing shirts emblazoned with the 17th letter of the alphabet, and appealing to Twitter users to attend Q meetups mashed with Ramtha teachings.
And the first time he looks out the window of his mighty fine used but nice jet, and he sees two silver discs waving him beside of him. It's an escort. He's going to know it all. And this is a man who is not afraid. He's going to know it all.
She's even begun to organize Q decoding classes for a fee, and now she's invited Matrix and Shady for a public speaking appearance at the Yelm compound. Matrix and Shady are going to be here to talk about their decision to appear and to discuss with me the possible implications that decision might have for the Q movement. So thank you once again, everyone, for joining us. We're going to give Matrix and Shady a call.
We made a Q book early on. Q was just getting started. Q ain't been out for maybe about a year. And you had this whole group of white boys that thought they knew everything. Let me run their names down again. The Ramtha crew, I call them. R-A-M-T-H-A. Look at that crazy white bitch. She's a fucking witch. They got all this money. This bitch used to send donations to End the Matrix and Shady Groove for $6.66, $66.66, and $666 all the time. These niggas was getting donations in the 600s every day. And there's pictures of fucking Jeffrey in the Matrix hanging out with some of his goofy ass rich white friends wearing women's red pumps. And he'll explain that to you. I ain't gonna get into the details. That motherfucker know what I'm talking about.
Like red pumps, like
red pumps.
Like
and
Clinton,
why do
like Clinton sitting? Like...
Yeah, the same kind. And look, why do Shady Groove look like the gay BG? Shannon Townsend is a clone of the gay BG.
And get them in here right now. That. Shady? Shady, are you there? And we're going to be adding Matrix in. Hopefully this is going to work.
I'm here.
Okay, excellent. I'm adding Matrix into the call right now. Patricia Furlong, thank you very much for that super chat. New Guardian, thank you as well. And Shady, I want to thank you very much for coming on the show tonight. Matrix, are you there?
Hey, how are you doing? Is JZ Knight going to be here? Because it looks like you got her logo on the front page.
No,
she's
not. She's not going to be here. No.
Okay, gotcha. I didn't know why that, because, I'm in the Matrix. A full disclosure, I only talk about Q.
Right. Well, I mean, we when we had talked before, we're specifically going to be talking about, the event that you guys are going to be doing, and I wanted to know.
Pretty exciting, huh? Get the Q message out to all worldwide, man. I'm so excited for that. Now we're on Twitter talking about it, so we've written about it, we spoke about it on YouTube, and now we're going to be in real life 3D talking about it to real live people that are Americans and love their country. Wow.
So do you guys have plans to speak at additional events like outside of this Ramtha event?
Absolutely.
Oh, absolutely.
Let's do it.
Okay. And
that was that is kind of the that's going to be the next level of this is we've got to start talking to people in front of people where people can ask questions. I like Twitter and I like all of the social media aspects, but you really just can't get to the nuts and bolts of things until you're out in front of people and you're taking questions where they are. And obviously the president is doing a miraculous job for all of us Anons. And so it's time for us Anons to get out there and start talking about this stuff.
I can understand that. I can definitely say that could be a good thing. But I mean, with regards specifically to this event, I mean, how did you guys become associated with this event and with this event at the school?
Well, we were initially
invited to talk.
We were invited to come. I mean, she got her people in contact with us and asked us if we would be willing to speak about it, and we said absolutely. And then they asked us if we'd be willing to come out and share with them in front of an audience of 400 people, and then she is going to be streaming worldwide to the network and have interpreters in, I think it was like 50 or 60 different countries, who will be interpreting us and really drilling down on the PaySur information and exactly how the bloodline control does affect our real reality and who the players are behind the scenes connected to who the players are right now that we're all seeing be exposed every day.
Yeah, absolutely. And, it is the satanic bloodlines that we're talking about. So, it's probably going to be really fun to go to a lot of places and talk about it. Maybe we can go to the Smirnoff arena that Bronfman's owned because we're talking about them. We're talking about the real cult, NXIVM, the real stuff. Look here, not there, that you guys are looking at now. So, hey, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I mean, with respect to that specifically, I mean, it's come out recently that there has been some ties directly between the Ramtha School and NXIVM. So, I mean, I guess my question to you...
there? Yeah, where's that proof?
Yeah,
I'd like to see that.
Mark Vicente, he just...
If we understood the world and if we understood ourselves, that's worth everything.
ESP NXIVM is a methodology that allows people to optimize their behavior.
NXIVM is the umbrella company. Keith was the founder.
He was a legend.
Our main belief is to have people experience more joy in their lives.
It's a worldwide organization.
When conventional solutions don't work, maybe the unconventional way of thinking does.
I was looking around at all these people that just didn't seem joyful. I started to get concerned.
There's a secret organization in NXIVM. They sign a lifetime vow of obedience, and they're branding girls.
And they're trying to recruit other women to do this.
I'm so strong. Like, you'd never be able to do what I just did.
I always want to earn my authority.
There's a lot of things about the organization. It's just not right.
Our commitment is our power. You stay.
There's no good way to leave. Ever.
I have to expose what's going on. It just has to be stopped.
There are a group of people we're going to the press. We are filing criminal charges.
You're branding my wife.
Everybody is a blend of good and bad.
We're playing some sort of game. Chances are I'm going to win.
Nobody joins a cult. They join a good thing.
Oh, somebody that went to one religious school and went to another one later? I mean, so is that now connection? What's the real connection? Seriously, people that do religions, especially, New Age religions, they try one, maybe that doesn't do it for them, and they go to another. So that does not mean that she's NXIVM or they're NXIVM or anything else. So it's beyond ridiculous what is being talked about right now. I'm sorry.
Well, my question is, considering the types of things that are in connection between the two.
Tonight, have you heard about Ramtha? He claims to be a spirit speaking through this woman.
Who needs to be worshipped? Indeed, you do.
I was obsessed. I couldn't stop.
When Ramtha speaks, there is such love.
Faithful include Hollywood stars. Some claim it's mass hypnosis. The woman has amassed a fortune.
People are entitled to say that I'm a fake, I'm a fraud, I'm a devil, I'm the Antichrist.
From the Pacific Northwest, Judd Rose reports on new revelations about this woman. Why are thousands drawn to the voice from beyond?
Considering the claims that have been made...
What types of things are in between the two? What are the claims?
So how can anyone really say they're in love with a specific person, for example? They're only in love with the anticipation of the emotions they're addicted to. Because the same person could fall out of favor the next week by not complying.
Well, the claims that,
By who? Crop duster, some guy from El Paso arrested on the border? For a prostitute with neon revolt? Dude, look, this has been an attack. This is all crap right now. We are talking about Q and the Pacers and the Federal Reserve. Where we go one, we go all means all. Okay?
I believe that means all within the movement.
It does. Why are we having this conversation? Patriots don't protect patriots, so is Neon Revolt a patriot? War drummer. What the heck happened to that? What is going on in this movement, my friend? That's what I asked you.
I hear what you're saying, but we're not talking about any of them. What I want to talk about tonight is my concerns about equivocating the Q movement with the Ramtha School of Enlightenment. I mean, specifically, she's channeling or claiming to channel a 35,000-year-old Lemurian, guru. Okay, so I mean, are you guys fully aware of the substantive teachings of JZ Knight and the Ramtha School?
Well, I mean, no, we're not fully aware of that. We're not part of that. We're not affiliated with that. We're not associated with that. It is not, neither of us practice anything relative to that, man. It's really just the idea of a presentation, someone who is pro-president wanting to talk about Q and wanting to get the message of Q out there. And there's been a lot of stuff, man. I know that Anons out there and other people out there are seeing a lot of things that if people would do their research, they would realize pretty quickly that JZ has had many speakers come speak at events that are held there, including people like Bill Cooper, including people like Robert Kennedy Jr., who came to help inform people on why you shouldn't vaccinate, and including many other, even Roseanne knows JZ. So the idea that she has been smeared in the public eye by the mainstream media for about 3 decades now should be a little indication for a lot of the Anons out there. But at the same time, Q and Matrix and we're not affiliated with her. And we're only going to do an event for her. And in the teeth, kind of like an icebreaker for Q to get out into the larger audience, into the world. Every mainstream media hit piece you can imagine has been written on her. And if Anons would do some sourcing, they would recognize that Open Society and SPLC does a lot of those hit pieces, and that JZ has really talked to us and let us know that she's super supportive of what the president is doing. She's actually been, I think if I remember correctly, she was one of the largest donators to the person who put up the GoFundMe for the wall. So, you know, patriots are supposed to be here with patriots, and Matrix and I have come to the conclusion that there's 3 different types of people in this world. There are traitors, there are patriots, and there is the general uninformed public. So anyone who is a patriot and anyone who is on our side should not be ostracized because of things that are being said that aren't really true.
Okay.
Well, so now
in that case, let's talk about something that is definitely true. The fact that one of the people that she had working there with her was an ousted Monsignor from Ireland, who was a child molester, who ended up molesting a child while he was there. And it was reported that she had some very specific comments about that, saying that there was some type of destiny involved with those two coming together. Now, to me, the idea... Well, just hold on one moment.
How many Catholic Church priests, dude? I mean, gosh, you guys are funny. This is not Source. This is not JZ Knight. This is some dude in Ireland. Whatever, man.
In that case, let's talk about something that is definitely true. The fact that one of the people that she had working there with her was an ousted Monsignor from Ireland, who was a child molester.
Whatever, man.
Who ended up molesting a child while he was there.
Whatever, man.
And it was reported that she had some very specific comments about that, saying that there was some type of destiny involved with those two coming together.
Whatever, man. I mean, what about the Catholic Church? What's going on there?
Well, I don't support the Catholic Church either. I'm a Reformed Catholic myself. Now, but the other thing
I'm a Christian, and I'm going to talk about the Pacers and the Illuminati bloodline and Red Pill, a bunch of awesome people.
To the sea of MAGA hats. You guys know who Q is yet? You guys know QAnon yet? Get them all? All right. Woo! You guys know who Q is? You guys know QAnon? You do? Do you know In the Matrix yet? On Twitter? In the Matrix? That's me. Oh, is it you? Yes. Yeah, how you doing? 90,000 followers on Twitter. Yeah, man. Getting the word out. Love you guys. Much love. How you guys doing? Hello, hello. Where we go one, we go all. Right? You guys know that, right? Where we go one.
So, but let's say that NXIVM was not in the news and we're not on trial right now. NXIVM was a new age, type of philosophy until it was exposed. If you had been invited, been invited to
listen, excuse me real quick here. NXIVM is not a new NXIVM is the cabal, my friend. NXIVM is just a word that's just stuck on something that's a front for the cabal. I don't understand why you can't realize this. Do you understand that the Bronfmans are a bloodline family?
I do understand the Bronfmans are a bloodline family.
Okay, so the Bronfmans are a bloodline family, and you think NXIVM is some sort of New Age cult?
Well, no.
NXIVM is the cult.
NXIVM is a cult. All right, I'm not saying that Ramtha is a cult. But I am saying that there are many concerns about the Ramtha. Don't you think that Ramtha's teachings are directly against the teachings of Christ and the Christian religion?
No. That is not what. So that is not what the teachings. The teachings are self understanding, my friend. And I think that a lot of people out there. No, excuse me. A lot of people out there have the misunderstanding about all of this stuff, guys. I mean, I want to tell you, if you think all the manuscripts and everything that are written that we read today are accurate, you're extremely off base here. The idea that you as a human being, we are all human beings. We are here. We are part of creation. Each of us individually are a part of our Creator, regardless of anyone else. We are not brought here with the skills to sit around and judge other people. You're brought here with the skills to use opportunity in your life to better yourself and to elevate your energy and to elevate your vibration and to start to feel yourself be alive. And the only way you're going to find that is to walk inside, my friend. You're not going to find yourself out here under a leaf. You're not going to find yourself out here hanging out at some tree. You're going to find yourself by walking inside and finding a path of self-discovery. So what you're saying right now, you're talking about someone else's beliefs that I did not endorse, that I have no idea of what the intricacies of those things are. I walk in my path. I walk in my center. And from everything that I've understood about JZ, do you realize that JZ Knight was the reason the movie What the Bleep Do We Know was made? So we need to start changing this conversation and understand what quantum physics is, and understand who qubits are. And listen, man, you're really going off on a narrative and trying to paint people and trying to slander people whenever you're reading mainstream news and telling it like it's some sort of adjunct fact, my friend. It's not a fact.
What I'm trying to get to here are statements made by JZ Knight herself with regard to specifically Jews and Mexicans. Knowing that, are you guys aware of those statements that she made?
I am aware of all kinds of different nefarious tapes that have been edited and videos that have been edited over the last 30 years involving JZ Knight. Yes, I'm aware that there's videotapes out there. So the authenticity of those videotapes have been disputed since they came out. Okay, I'm not here to argue about what
Shady,
her legal issues are, my friend.
Let's let Red Pill talk, because I see all the same trolls here that are involved in the Discord at Patriots United. They're all here. Lulu, High Prof Q, Crop Duster. All these people worked with Neon Revolt to make a story that you're listening to today. All we're doing is going to go talk about the Pacers, and then Neon Revolt's article became Daily Beast. If you guys, understand, and where we go one, we go all means all, Red Pill. It means all. It doesn't mean people that I don't agree with or you don't agree with. It means all.
You can run on for a long time, run on for a long time, run on for a long time. Sooner or later gotta cut you down, sooner or later gotta cut you down. Go tell that long-tongued liar, go and tell that midnight rider, tell the rambler, the gambler, the backbiter, tell him that God's gonna cut him down, tell him that God's gonna cut him down. Well, my goodness gracious, let me tell you the news. My head's been wet with the midnight dew. I've been down on bended knee, talking to the man from Galilee. He spoke to me with a voice so sweet, I thought I heard the shuffle of angels sweet. He called my name and my heart stood still when he said, John, go do my will. Go tell that long-tongued liar, go and tell that midnight rider, tell the rambler, the gambler, the backbiter, tell him that God's gonna cut him down, tell him that God's gonna cut him down. You can run on for a long time, run on for a long time, run on for a long time. Sooner or later gotta cut you down, sooner or later gotta cut you down.
Let's take an example right here. So in the movie White Squall, where we go one, we go all refers to everyone who is a group on that boat. If you've got one sailor that goes below deck and starts drilling holes into the hull of the boat, the other people are going to intervene. What I see here and what I'm trying to ask you guys about is the proximity of you guys going to speak at this event with these individuals here. The things that they espouse are potentially antithetical to the things that Q espouses. And now JZ Knight is coming into this movement, and she is seeking to find new people to come that she can teach and that she can bring into her school of thought. Now, what I find concerning is that you guys are, coming into this, you see no problem with going and speaking there, and then as leaders in this movement, finding yourselves associated with this group. And now the Daily Beast has written this article, And
Oh
they
my
are
God.
claiming that all people along this movement are now somehow part of this.
So Q people are now buying the Daily Beast. All right.
No, but what I'm talking about.
You want to go to Q post? Let's read Q together.
Daily Beast
Do you
ever
guys
call
read
it-
Q?
We are not.
Daily Beast ever called us a cult before?
Yes, this is the point, is that this is giving them fodder
Yes.
to talk to the rest of the world, the people who are not listening to this. So have you
So
guys
let's
ever
stand
actually
together.
met JZ Knight?
No.
Nope.
No. Okay, but do you believe that she is channeling a 35,000-year-old spirit named Ramtha?
I have no opinion on anything that she believes.
Okay, so you
Quit the
can't
wrap-ups.
you are not
This is a
fighting
wrap-up
yourself.
smear. Remember Nancy Pelosi? Yeah.
No, I don't have an opinion on what you guys believe, but no one has asked me to come speak at an event. If I was going to speak at an event, I would vet the people that I was going to speak
So
at.
go speak in an event. Let's go. You get
Do you
one. We'll all get one. Let's go all and get off our asses and go get the truth out, man.
But that's not the point. The
That
point
is the
is,
point.
I want to know where you guys
Be
stand.
loud, be proud, be heard. I stand in my beliefs. My beliefs doesn't mean that you can't put somebody else's beliefs on me, dude.
Okay, so
I am who I am.
So you
I am
guys
a Christian,
think overall
and I
it's a
am
good
going to
idea
go
to
talk about
speak at
you.
this event?
Yeah. Okay. What am I going to do? Listen to the same trolls that have been trolling me? The MAGA. You don't know whose side you're on right now, man. Where we go one, we go no. Where we go one, we go all means all, dude. And you are being so judgmental. What is it? Thou shalt not judge, or do we judge the hell out of people?
No.
And say where we go all, where only in our boat. So some. Q, Red Pill, and all these people thinks where we go all, we go some.
That is not what it means.
You're
That
judging.
is not what it means.
You are judging. It is what it means.
What I'm talking about, I have known who JZ Knight and Ramtha was for many years, and I know of her teachings, all right? And I know that it is not part of my own personal set of beliefs, all right? And I find it
So
personally...
only the people that believe what you think.
No.
That's all it goes.
That's not it at all. That's not it at all.
That's what
What
you
I'm
just
saying
said.
is, what I'm saying is that I think that it is antithetical to what is found here in the Q movement. Okay? I mean, you guys, I tried to talk about the Bible and you guys immediately dismissed it, but the Bible, Leviticus 19:13 says, "Do not turn to mediums or necromancers. Do not seek them out and do not make yourselves unclean by them. I am the Lord your God."
Wow. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I mean, are you guys, do you guys have any kind of financial stake with JZ Knight? I mean, is this a business partnership that you guys are in, or is this just a one-off?
There's no partnership with anyone.
Okay.
She offered to bring us there, and she offered to endorse or reimburse us for our travel to come there. Man, I mean, you're really I feel like you're showing some true colors here, friend. I don't understand what it is that about. I mean, I mean, are you going? So if someone who has a Hindu temple invited me to come speak at the Hindu temple about the bloodlines and how the bloodlines have compromised all religions and all people and been feasting on humanity for 6,000 years, I'm not allowed to go there and talk about that because Hinduism is some sort of antithesis to Christianity. I mean, I just don't really recognize this. I thought Anons were like above this reality that we were bogged down in our independent individual belief structures and we were going to band together and all come together as one. That to me is very concerning to see so many people out there that really are not getting that message, man. I've been bringing this message for 3 decades, my friend. I've been red-pilled since the early 90s. I've been screaming at the top of my lungs about this to sheep for 30 years. So it's beyond me that anyone out there is taking the position of judgment after everyone, the president that we all follow used to donate to Democrats.
Right.
The place that I live in Oregon, there are no conservatives out here that are organized and that are in politics, that are in power. If you want to be involved in politics out here, you have to deal with the Democrat Party. People don't understand the reality of this conversation and how Q is trying to tell us where we go one, we go all, not where we go one, go the ones that we want because that's the ones we like.
I think that there's a big difference between the Ramtha school and Hinduism. I think that there's a very, very large difference there. And I mean, have you guys ever spoken with someone who's a recovering Hindu, someone who has left, you know, the religion of Hindu, or, you know, some place where they lived directly with the sole teacher of, you know, well, just using Hinduism as an example. I mean, there are reports of people who have left this group.
I'm not here for you to bash people's beliefs, man. I don't really understand this.
That's not what I'm doing. That's not what I'm doing.
Yes, it is. That's exactly what you were doing, sir.
Love in their eyes in return. They are transfixed. What transfixes them is a blend of Eastern mysticism and Western pop philosophy with a large dose of theatrics. The medium has a message. God exists in everyone. Man is divine and the master of his own destiny.
Who needs to be worshipped? Indeed, you do. And who needs to save your hide? You do. And indeed, who can answer your prayers? You do.
That may not sound especially profound, but true believers flock to hear it at $400 apiece. It's $1,500 for weekend retreats. There are often so many people, the Ramtha organization can earn up to $200,000 for a single appearance. And if you can't come to Ramtha, Ramtha will come to you.
And you're my first 35,000-year-old guest.
And what is 35,000 years old?
Yes, you are. You're attacking people's beliefs. You're attacking JZ Knight's beliefs. You're attacking Hindus' beliefs. I made an analogy.
Not true. Not true at all.
That's what you just did.
That is no. I was using it as an example to say that there is no equivocation between the Ramtha school and Hinduism. Okay, you've got
I'm not
people.
saying that there is. I'm saying that people have their own beliefs. You're not allowing that. You're taking away someone's right to have me come speak to them about Q.
No, I'm not.
You're
not at all. Not
yes,
at all.
You are.
No, I'm not. I'm not telling you not to go there and speak, Shady. I am giving my opinion here because we're speaking about it and telling you that I personally don't think it's a good idea. And I'm trying to talk to you guys about it, but I can't get a single word in edgewise. You guys clearly have the things that you want to talk about, and I wanted to ask you questions about this, and I was very clear about that when I asked you guys to come on the program. You know, this isn't the Matrix and Shady Show.
I'm answering your questions.
No, you have been steamrolling this entire time. I can't get anything out. All right? I've had lots of different questions that I wanted to ask, and you guys are just rolling along. You're telling me what I'm saying. You're telling me what I'm believing. I'm not trying to do that with you guys. I want to ask you what you believe, okay? I wanted to ask you how you felt about these things. I wanted to ask you your understanding of Ramtha. Now, we could have had a very civil conversation. It could have been very different, but you guys immediately jumped on the offensive.
I did not jump on any offensive. You started attacking someone's personal beliefs.
I haven't attacked any of it. No, I was trying to talk about specific things. Specific things that are actually reported and have been proved in a court of law, okay? I'm not trying to say anything that's not true.
The people we saw here and in Santa Fe were typical of Ramtha followers. Affluent, educated, successful. What do they see in all of this? Well, we went to the University of Denver and put that question to a man who studied the channeling phenomenon. Dr. Carl Raschke says those believers seem to have it all, but still, something's missing.
And so what they need is something that's mysterious, something that's not obvious, something that they can call all their own. When they hear Ramtha, it's not really what Ramtha is saying, because Ramtha doesn't provide a real hard, complicated message. He is simply saying you are the God within you. And that sounds good. That sounds cool.
Raschke calls the Ramtha movement a sort of collective mass hypnosis, and certainly this woman would agree. Linda lives with her family in Colorado, and it was here in the fall of 1984 that she started listening to Ramtha audio tapes. Now, she never actually saw Knight on video or in person, but soon she was hooked.
Those tapes put me under hypnosis and put me through a personality change that no one would have ever guessed or can imagine can happen to someone.
By May of '85, she was listening to the tapes constantly. She says her nerves were shot, her job was in jeopardy, her marriage was crumbling. Still, she defied her husband and went to a Ramtha retreat in California.
I was obsessed. I couldn't stop. I don't know how to explain it except that when I tell you that I was on a roll and you're going downhill, you can't stop. I really needed help at that point.
She got it. When she returned, her husband had her deprogrammed. Her marriage and the rest of her life now put back together. Linda says what happened to her could happen to anyone, and certainly many others have felt the powerful pull of Ramtha.
Stay steadfast. I will.
you are. You're going to. Sooner than you know.
All right, I'm not calling anybody by anything other than what it is.
You asked me if I thought that Ramtha was a 35,000-year-old entity. That's asking me about someone's beliefs. I don't know about their beliefs, and now you're saying you weren't doing what you did. What are you talking about?
I am asking you about going to speak at this school, okay, in this event, and I am asking where you stand with this school and how you feel comfortable going there and wanting to know if you are on the same page as them with what their beliefs are. And you could have said, no, I don't believe that. I mean, I just want to get you on the record and say, okay, so great. So we've got that on the record. All right. But here's the thing that I want to say, just because it's where we go one, we go all, are there any other types of groups that you guys would feel comfortable going and speaking to? Perhaps groups that could
anyone.
Okay. So you would, go to Black Lives Matter. Would you speak at an event for white supremacists?
Gotcha, bitch.
Oh my God.
It's just an example.
Wow.
It's just an example.
Yeah, it is an example. You're making an example of yourself right now.
So do you think that the mainstream media publicly associating the Ramtha School of Enlightenment and the Q movement is going to be a good thing? Because we've got
I don't think that the mainstream media is going to paint Q in any positive light, no matter what they do. They have been painting Q in the negative light for over a year now, so I don't see them changing. No.
Okay, but specifically with regard to them attempting to call us a cult, all right, and now coming out and claiming that that's exactly what we're doing.
I think that they've been doing that the whole time.
All right. Well, I wish you guys the best. I just want to go on record and say that I personally don't think it's a good idea. I'm sorry if we got heated. That isn't what I wanted. I wanted this to be a civil conversation. But if I'm wrong, then I'm totally willing to hear about it after the fact.
Well, I mean, I can tell you right now that you're wrong because you're being judgmental towards people who are trying to help us. They're trying to help you. They're trying to help Q.
And lately, those who want to be where Ramtha is have found a reason to do so. In Ramtha videos and in Ramtha newspapers, the mystic predicts a series of natural disasters will devastate much of America. Volcanoes and quakes, plagues and drought and tidal waves, and more.
In these days to come, one should leave that which is called the beaches and seek higher ground. It would be well advised, in the greatest of wisdom, to pack your belongings and go somewhere else.
Well, many of the true believers are taking that advice to heart. Now, Ramtha says that the Pacific Northwest will be safe from all those disasters. So in the past year or two, hundreds of people, upwards of 1,500 by one count, have suddenly left everything behind. Their families, their businesses, just left everything and moved to places like Northern California, Oregon, and here in Washington State. This is Cheryl McNaughton. She moved to Yelm, Washington, right near JZ Knight. After falling in with Ramtha, McNaughton divorced her multimillionaire husband, left her home in Hawaii, came here with her children and her new boyfriend.
Ramtha was a door. I walked through it. I changed my life. I am happy because of me. He gave me that experience.
But it's a bitter experience for many of those left behind. We heard stories from all over the country, like the East Coast, where there was the elderly man whose wife of 45 years got into Ramtha, and then last Thanksgiving suddenly cleaned out their bank account and moved to the Northwest. And we talked to the woman here in Los Angeles. Just last summer, her husband got a Ramtha videotape and started watching it over and over again.
He became obsessed with the idea that the world was going to end. He began giving away our furniture. We had just bought a house. He put the house up for foreclosure. He let his business go, and he moved up to an area near the Sequoias.
He finally came home just recently, but Tina's still shaken.
What is Ramtha doing to families like yours?
Tearing them apart.
And the idea that, you're going to cite hit pieces from the Daily Beast on me after, me being in the trenches for over a year, fighting these people and doing everything I can and taking away people's rights and judging people because of their beliefs. It just kind of isn't Q. It's not me. It's not what I do in my real life. I don't know. Maybe other people are like that, but I'm just not.
Well, I don't want you to think that I believe anything in the Daily Beast article, but I just wanted to use that as a point of reference because it came out and it's been a big deal here recently, and lots of people being angry about it. You know, so was there anything else that you guys wanted?
A lot of people are angry about a lot of things. A lot of people are angry about what the president is enduring every day.
I would have to agree. Yeah. It is a lot of BS. All right, guys.
It sure is.
Thank you very much for joining us tonight, you guys. I do appreciate it, and I hope that it ends up well.
Good job with your little narrative, my friend.
All right, thank you. We'll have a good one.
I got you on speaker, and you know the Fed's been listening to my phone since I was doing live streams with Isaac. Listen, I've been doing live streams with Isaac since before me and you started talking on the phone. So let me ask you this. Let me ask you this.
That's correct. Oh, were you asking if I was in a
live? Were you in a DM chat with Mike Flynn when they let Mike Flynn back on Twitter back in the day? Didn't you boast? Didn't you brag and boast about how you was in a private chat group with Mike Flynn? And you said never. Oh wait, say that loud and clear. I was never in a private chat group with Mike Flynn and Red Pill 78. Red Pill 78 left Ohio with his cornball, dogs fighting and biting his ankles ass. He moved to Florida and became a part of the Florida Sarasota CIA Mike Flynn network, nigga. Did he not? But he was one of your homeboys back in the day, right? Back when y'all did the Ramtha book. Did y'all do the Ramtha book?
Ramtha book.
The Ramtha book with what's his name? In the Matrix, Jeffrey and gay ass Shady Groove, the gay BG. You remember the gay BG?
Now that we can agree on, but no, I've never done
you think Shady Groove's the gay BG, right? Yeah, he looked like the gay BG, don't he? You ever looked at Shady Groove and looked at the gay BG? How deep is your love? How deep is your love? You know what? White folk been laughing about that shit for the last 24 hours. So everybody know now that Shady Groove is the gay BG and they was down with the Ramtha hoe. The Ramtha hoe, they used to get him $666 a day. Remember that? You remember that? You remember that, Mike?
I'm pretty tired. Think I'll go home now.
Let's add it to the mix. Next!